All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming. Good evening. My name is Andrew, and this is my pleasure to start class one for you, which is about the introduction to our community, day trading, and also onboarding for the people who recently signed up to our classes. Just a normal disclaimer that we are not investment advisory service. We are not registered with any financial, regulation authority. We are not a broker dealer, and we are not really telling you what to buy or what to sell, because giving direct financial advice requires a license, and there is no recommendation from us. And trading and investment in financial markets are dangerous, and you can lose all of your money. By watching this video and by being part of our community, you understand that this is something that you should be aware of, and we highly recommend you talk to a qualified advisor to see what you're doing with your money and your investment is actually good for you, because it's very personalized. What we do with our money, it really doesn't mean that everyone should do, because people are in different age, different stage of life, different family situations. So everyone should really work with a financial advisor who is licensed and qualified. So welcome to our community. For those of you who are in the class for the first time, Bearable Traders is a trading community that we are a very small trading community, but we're all from all around the world. We keep it really a fun, interactive environment. We focus on the community aspect of trading, and we want to people get involved. I personally try to go and see our traders as much as possible all across the world, and we hope we continue having some serious traders from all around the world helping each other to be better traders. We are a worldwide community. We have traders from all around the world. The map that you're seeing is just a screenshot of people who are signing into our community every day. Obviously, there's a lot of people from North America, US, and Canada, but as you see, it's just not only North America. We have pretty much from all across the world, people are signing in to our community. I think it's very, very important for people to join the trading community. In any career, you need to be part of a community. Any professional career or even a sport. For example, if you want to become an Olympic, athlete, you can do it by yourself, but it's much helpful if you are actually joining a community and training with a community, a team, and that support from the community helps you a better athlete. Same as other careers. Trading is also a career, and being part of a community helps a lot. To whom you would ask your questions? If you have any question, who would really there to help you? So our team, it's myself and Brian. We originally started this, Brian and I. We used to work together. We used to talk a lot about trading. I personally learned a lot from Brian. Brian wasn't really a day trader in that time. He was trading day trading, but he's mostly swing trading in those times. And then we started day trading together, and we pretty much our learning curve went together. And then the rest of the people who are either were my student or they were the member of the community, William, Norm, Carlos, Abiel, Robert, Peter, and Ryan, they were all came to the community, and then they later grow as a community manager or moderator, and they're full-time traders. Of course, some of them have their own businesses, and that's the beauty of trading, that you can have the side business at the same time become a trader, and that's what make trading is really, really interesting. So what was my story? I did my PhD in chemical engineering. I was really proud of myself that doing my PhD, finished the school, started working. I was really proud of my achievements. I was really, really proud that, okay, I did the best education in one of the good schools, and now I'm working in one of the, best, work environments, one of the world-class research area. I did go into top of the world, try to climb Everest and everything, and then very soon in my career I realized that they don't need me. Then I got that letter that, okay, your position is no longer needed, thank you very much, and that's a severance package, and good luck finding a new job. So I got laid off very, very early in my career. I mean, this could happen, 10, 15 years into my career, but it happened very, very early into my career. So I got a really good severance package, and I started working again. But I decided to really learn something. I decided to really focus on day trading, and I said, okay, I want to become a trader because now that after a few years of working, I really had some cash. I had savings. The market was ups and downs. So I really didn't want to focus on the market, and I started learning trading. There was a lot of information out there. A lot of them are paid, and a lot of them are free education on the YouTube or Google, but they're all scattered. I really couldn't find one good source to get all of this information at the same time, step to step, from basics, platforms, brokers, all the way up to advanced and everything. So there was really a lack for that. That's why I decided to write that book. I mean, I was a scientist. I wrote patents and publications in scientific journals. Why not writing a book? I decided to write the book, and the first book, How to Day Trade for a Living, turned out to be a really good book. I mean, I'm not saying it was a really good book. There was a really demand for that. People really bought that book. They got a lot of review and feedbacks on that. Later, I wrote the second book, to complement the first book. The second book, Advanced Techniques in Day Trading, published in 2018. And I just wanted to, share this story with you that I'm just an ordinary person like you. I never worked in Wall Street. I don't have any special, education that you guys might miss. I mean, I just learned everything online from all different sources. But what I could do is I could put them together in one simple but effective guide, easy to understand guide in two of my books. And I used to work, when I was trading, I continued to work. I had many years both trading and working at the same time, and that's the beauty of living in the West Coast in the Pacific time zone. I'm based in Vancouver, Canada, and that's the beauty of it because market opens at 6:30 in the morning, and then you can trade for a few hours, and then you can later go to work and be at work at 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, and you still have your day-to-day job. I kept my job for a long time, even when I was trading. And then we decided to, in 2015, we opened our chat room, and just a group of friends and family, Brian and I and some other friends. And then later we expanded, the name was Vancouver Traders in those times. And then later we expanded to, some of the traders that they really wanted to trade with us. And this is just an example of how our chat room look like. I mean, we have the scanners that we find the stocks for trading. We share our trading platform. Traders can see me in real time, can hear me. They can see the entries and exits that we're trading, plus all of the thought process that I personally have. If I'm not trading, other people, Brian and other moderators would come. They take trades. They share their ideas. So it's a really, really good environment for people to understand trading and the thought process behind people who are experienced traders, get some tips. It's a very fun environment as well, and we answer questions from each other. And there is an announcement, so sometimes we try to go into a trade, we try to post it in an announcement. And not always our announcement is up to date. I mean, we're not really alert service. You're not coming into a community to follow other traders. Or just get exact entry and exits to copy mirror trades, but we do post our entries and exits in our announcement section, and of course you can actually see that in real time. Yeah, so that's just an example of the chat room that we have. Inside our website, if you're a member, you see that there's a dashboard that what you see is in your account, you can review your account, payment, cancellation, renewal, or whatever. If you want access to the chat room, there is a tab that you can actually access into the chat room. If you want access to the classroom, so our chat room is every trading day. When the market is open, 9 to 4 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning, all the way up to 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We have the chat room, classroom. There is a schedule that you can see which are, with what days we have class. There is webinar for mentorship sessions that the lifetime members can have. These are again scheduled. The education center is area that all of the classes and basic lessons and advanced lessons are there, and you can access that 24/7. They're all recorded. All of the old classes, all of the scheduled classes and webinars also will be recorded, and we put them into the education center. You can actually access that anytime. And of course, if you want to get the simulator from us, we use Dust Trader as a trading platform, and you can order anytime that you want, and we usually activate it for you next day or any time that you want. As I mentioned, inside the chat room you see a calendar, and we post all of their events in there. And this is not visible to public, or you have to be a member to be able to access the different area. And also we have a forum. So our forum is an excellent source of information on all aspects of trading. We do have a lot of information about trading, day trading, about platform, about the technical aspect, about the psychology, off-topic discussions, a lot of members introduction and meetups. So I really encourage you, even if you're not part of a community, you can actually go and use the forum. So we encourage everyone to go and check out our forum. You don't have to be a member to use our forum, and there is a lot of useful information. And of course, having the more people are in the forum, there are more information and knowledge being shared. Our education has essentially 5 classes. So the first class, which is this one, we talk about the trading and day trading in general, and it's onboarding for new members. In the class 2, we talk about the watch list, how to build a watch list, what to trade. Imagine you're a trader, you know everything, and you want to start trading. What do you trade? Which ticker, which stock you start trading? And we discussed that in class 2. And also we help teach you how to find support and resistance levels. That's the class 2 has 2 parts, because without trading levels, how do you want to get a stop out? Where do you want to get a stop out? Where do you want to take profit? We talk about finding important support or resistance level. In the class 3, we talk about the technicals, like understanding level 2, bid, ask, spread, hotkeys and orders, the type of orders that we are using, price action, chart patterns, and trade management. In the class 4, we talk about day trading strategies, opening range breakouts, ABCD pattern, VWAP trading, and extreme reversals. In the class 5, we talk about risk management, the risk to reward setups, position sizing, trade management. We talk about the psychology, because I think psychology has a very important effect on risk management. And also we talk about the mechanical risk management, how to set up risk management on your trading platform, broker, computers, electricity, internet, all of these, anything might go wrong. And you want to protect your account, you want to protect your money. A lot of people are asking us, okay, which one is the most important one if you want to watch one? I mean, there is no, all of them at the same time are important. I mean, you need to have a good platform, you need to have a good stock in play, you need to have the support or resistance level, you need to understand the technical aspect, like level 2 hotkeys, or you have to use the correct orders. Price action is really important. You have to be able to identify patterns and manage your trade. Strategies, yes, you need the strategies, but if you only know a strategy and you don't know everything else, you can't be a successful trader. And of course, if you know everything else, you need to have those strategies to trade, because those are, everyone thinks that this is the most important class, but it's in reality, all of them are, equally important. If I want to pick one, I would say probably class 5 is the most important one, because the risk management is the key for traders to really, become successful in the long term. So here's what we suggest. I mean, our approach is, teach you what to do, teach what are the tools that you need, the technicals, and then, after the simulation, you go trade the small and then work on your psychology, and slowly you increase your share size to become a trader. So you really don't want to become a full-time trader right away. We never promise you that, okay, you want to become a full-time trader, consistent $1 million baby in the matter of few weeks. No, we really believe that this is a work in progress, and education would never stop. We are always humble students of markets. So education center, I mean, as I mentioned, you go into the website, there's education center. There are over 24 hours of different videos of different classes and basic resources, advanced classes. There is a psychology module that our members can have access. Robert specifically spent a lot of time talking about the different various aspects of psychology in there. There are live trade and trade management examples that you can watch. There are mentorship sessions that there are for lifetime members. We have them, and you can download a lot of things. The scanners settings, the hotkey and layout files, and also the journal samples and other files that members think they are useful and they're sharing with us. We actually put them into the education center. You can actually download. So this is just an example of a screenshot. There are way more videos in there, and we constantly update them and remove. We remove the old lessons and constantly upgrade and add material in there. So specifically, our moderators, Robert, and others are really putting a lot of time in there, specifically on the psychology module. Robert spent a lot of time, talking about, different aspects of trading, like breaking rules, failure, peak performance, and other stuff. It's a big series, so we recommend traders really watch that. I personally learn a lot by watching those. So what are the trading style in our community? So we focus mostly on day trading. Day trading comes in different formats. Scalping are the type of trading that usually the trade is from seconds to minutes. You get into the trade, after a few seconds or few minutes, you get out of the trade with a profit or with a loss. There are some other day trading style that you can do that takes usually from minutes to hours. Sometimes you buy something at the open and then you wait all the way up to the end. Those are called trend tradings. I personally more focus on scalping. I'm more like a scalper. My trades are usually happening in the 5-10 minute maximum. But we have traders that are taking trades for hours. Other moderators are usually taking trades that are longer. Like, for example, William is taking those trades. Robert is taking trend trades or reversals that usually take longer. We don't hold any overnight trade. As day trading rule is you don't hold anything for tomorrow. If you hold anything, it would be swing trading. We close all of our positions, either loss or profit at the end of the day. We don't do any fundamental analysis. We don't care what the company is doing, how much is the revenue, what's the profit ratio. We don't dig into the fundamental aspects of trading. We use very simple technical indicator and chart patterns. We really don't dig into the fundamental analysis. What's the potential profit on day trading? Potential profit is 0.5% to 1% of your account size daily. And that's a very good return for successful day traders, because 1% a day, it could be, imagine if you have 20 days of trading in a month, you can have 20% return on your account in a month. That's almost 250% return on a year. And that's a very, very great return. But what's the disadvantage? Usually day trading has a high cost of operation because you need to have a direct access and real-time data, broker. The commissions, because you're an active trader, the commissions would be a little bit higher than those people who just trade regularly. There are some fees in the computer and the screen, and the cost of operation that you need for day trading is higher. You compare with someone who can actually trade something once in a while in his phone or her phone. Day traders require more, system, more sophisticated computers and systems. Not very, but a little bit of, sophistication is involved. And usually the typical account size is $5,000 to $50,000. Plus, you get some buying power or margin from your broker. If your broker gives you, let's say, 4-to-1 buying power with an account with $50,000, you might be able to have up to $200,000 of buying power, which what we call margin. Someone said, if 1% a day, that's 200% a year. If it was that great, why not Wall Street all do day trading, and instead of 10-15% return on mutual funds, all of them are offering 200%? The answer to that, the comment is, you can't day trade when your account is really huge. If you have for example, $2 million account, or some funds, they have $100 million or few $1 billion on assets under management, you can't day trade with that amount of money. Day trading is really good for generating cash for small size accounts and grow those accounts. But when your account goes into a higher than certain size, then you might really diversify to other aspects of trading, because the market is also not that liquid. You might be able to buy 1,000 share of something, but you might not be able to buy 10,000 shares or 100,000 shares of that stock right away because the market just doesn't have that liquidity. So, I mean, don't get confused that I'm saying that you can get 1% per day on any account size. No, it's just only for a specific niche for certain account size. If you have, for example, we have traders that they have millions of dollars in their account, but they don't day trade with all of that million dollars. They day trade maybe for $50,000-$60,000 of that money, and they just invest and diversify their account on other aspects. We do also swing trading. Swing traders, they usually look for a return of 20 to 25% on their account on a year, which is a really good return. Best of the Wall Street managers, they, if they can get 10-15% return, they're a rock star, they're a superstar. For example, in 2018, the market is so far in December, market year to date is negative. I mean, probably a lot of funds are actually negative. So if you get to 20-15%, 20-25% account per year on swing trading, that's actually a very, very good return. So managing expectation is really important. I mean, people, but if you're a day trader and you make only 20% per year, then maybe it's not really worth your time because, you have to spend a lot of time and a lot of commissions and a lot of fees as well. But, you probably expect more than 20% a year on your account size, unless you are a really, really part-time day trader. So what is swing trading? Swing trading are the trades, takes from days to few weeks. You buy something now, sell tomorrow or next week. Usually the overnight positions are in there. There are some fundamental analysis about the companies. Okay, what's the company? What sector is the company in? What's the profit? What's the earning? This information, but it's mostly technical and chart patterns. You really don't focus too much into the fundamental analysis because you are not really investing. We are not investors. We are traders. We don't care what the company is doing in the next 5 years because we are not going to invest billions of dollars in the company. We are trading the technical and chart patterns that the company has, and the price action. Usually the cost of swing trading is lower because you really don't need the real-time or direct access softwares and broker. A lot of times your banks can do the trades for you, and the type of orders that you're using, they're not really need to be filled immediately. You can set the price pretty much well. It's good to have those, but those come at the cost. And the typical account size, usually $50,000-$60,000, more than that. You can swing trade with the smaller size. But, again, the return, you have to see if you have a $5,000 account and if you want to swing trade with that, how much you want to, get return. Sometimes you can't even make the commission by the small account. So that's something that you have to be mindful of that. So my friend Brian, he actually has a book on how to swing trade. He puts his strategy in there. And Zach, another friend of mine, he's actually have a book on how to trade forex and currency market. Our forex section of our community is slowly expanding. He's putting a lot of ideas on how to trade currency and markets. But at this moment, our community is really focused on day trading U.S. stock market. And I must also mention that it's only U.S. market. We are not trading other markets, Asian markets or European markets, because the market is really not that liquid in other countries. US is a very equity driven market, and the companies and the stock market has a lot of liquidity and has a lot of volume. So a path to success in trading is really to manage your expectation. I mentioned about the potential return that you can expect from day trading. There's also, when you start day trading, it's very, very important to know what you're getting into. Trading is a career. Day trader is like any other professional. Doctor, lawyers, and engineers is like a profession. A lot of people want to practice a little bit, take a course or two, and then they want to get that financial freedom, and then they change their life and everything. But it doesn't, you don't get that phase really fast. And we are really honest on that. We never advertise trading as something that is easy. You can get financial freedom in a short period of time, or we never advertise that we have some proven techniques that you just follow it and then you make your money. No, trading is way more complicated than really giving a secret sauce to someone. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of practice. It's obviously not as long as being a doctor, or, like 20 years in school. It's definitely not that long, but it takes same mentality, same effort that you need to become a professional. What you in a few months when you are actually trading in a simulator, what you learn is, first of all, is trading is for you or not, because the trading might not be for you. Or if you really want to become a trader, okay, how you can actually start your trading business, and you have to look at it as a business, as a new career. I mean, either business or career, you have to treat it as such. A lot of people start trading just because it's cool, or because they saw an advertisement, or they see something in an app or something, they start trading. But you really have to put some thought before you actually put your hard-earned money into that. And as I mentioned, all of these professionals, you see doctors, lawyers, or engineers, or any other professional, let's say athletes, they don't get that overnight. I mean, it takes a lot of effort and time. Patience is really, really important. I mean, a lot of traders, they get really impatient after a few months. They want to jump into trading really hard, really big size, because, well, they don't have enough money. They want to wait and practice or survive. They just need the income. Someone might say, okay, I need to pay the bills. I have to trade live. I need to make that, $500 a day. But without education, without proper practice, that's dangerous. Or a lot of people come in our community with the wrong mindset, that they think trading is easy. Oh, well, I've heard that. I read an ad and say, oh, the proven techniques, or financial freedom, or these kind of things. You can follow it and you can become a trader too. I think those are really misrepresentation of difficulty of trading. I think it's not easy. And a lot of those buzz that is outside, they don't talk about the resilience and the hardship of trading. And this is something that we really focus on our trading community, that only serious people should really move toward live trading. Everyone can trade in a simulator and see if they really want it or not, but only serious people, and only who really understand how difficult this career is, really should move to the live trading. One trader emailed me, and those are the exact words, and I still have the email, and he said, I've never used the simulator. I cannot afford to earn fake money for 3 months. I am on a mission to rebuild my portfolio. So, this type of mentality is dangerous. I'm not saying that you can't build your portfolio, but these are dangerous, because you're entering in an area that is very complicated, and you are competing against the sharpest minds in the world. Trading is a very serious business. A lot of other traders out there, either professional traders in Wall Street, or people are sitting at their home, they are ready to take your money. It's a very, very serious business, and you have to treat it as such. This is a trader that emailed me, and he said, okay, I'm looking for some advice. I purchased your audiobook. I'm listening to that. And, I'm trading, I made some money, and, I'm doing delivery in New York City. I mean, just read the email. I'm delivering New York supplies in New York City, and I was active with real money and on a Scott trade, and I made some money, from $2,000 to $5,000. And then I later lost all of it. I mean, I was doing that when I was driving the streets of New York City, delivering supplies. Sometimes it's stuck in traffic, I can make a trade. And sometimes I need to pull over to watch level 2 and make a trade or two. I've been doing this, example that mentioned. And I started to lose these gains and felt I had no control. Then I realized that I was lucky. And this is really important. You may get lucky a few times and make some money. He made from $2,000 to $5,000, but he eventually returned that. And return that to the market, because he really didn't take it seriously, and you eventually give back to the money. I mean, the consistent traders are the ones who actually take that very, very seriously, and this is what you guys want to understand. So as I mentioned, like any other new business or career, you have to invest in it, be patient, proper education, proper tools and platforms are all necessary. Computers, a screen, broker. You can't day trade over the phone. You have to be able to have, practice and trade in real time. I mean, the market is open 9 o'clock in the morning, and you need to be able to trade for a few hours in the morning on the Eastern time zone. A lot of people can't. They say, oh, I'm working 9 o'clock. How can I trade? Well, maybe day trading is not for you. If you don't have the flexibility or time, and you have to be at, start going work at 8 o'clock all the way up to 5, 6 in the afternoon, maybe trading is not for you. And that's fine. I mean, not everyone should and try day trading. Try to focus your energy on something else, maybe an online business or something that eventually, that fits your schedule. Maybe, that works for you. And as I mentioned, that we are all humble, students of the market. Learning never stops in trading. Market is changing. You have to change, and it's not something that you come and grasp and then it's like a cash machine. You start making money every single day. It's always a learning process. I myself, all of our moderators, we are having good ups and downs. We are learning, we are losing, we are winning. So if you are entering, if you are okay with that, then good luck. But if you are looking for something that just pick up something online and then that's it for the rest of your life, I assure you day trading is not like that. So what are we expecting? I mean, as a day trader, as a new day trader, what we want to learn is how to recognize trading patterns. And not only find those trading patterns, we want to have excellent execution and risk management on that. And this is what we focus in our education. A lot of people are emailing me, oh, the market is random or computers are taking over, but can you really make any money as a day trader? The answer to that is market is random. Yes, market is random. Anything can happen at any moment. But even in such market, you see certain trading patterns show themselves every single day. And your job as a trader is to find those patterns. Yes, the market is random. Anything can happen at any moment. But, there are some trading patterns that you can find on the market pretty much every single day, and you have to trade those. Not only finding them is important, but also excellent execution is as important. I like that picture because our ancestors were looking at the sky, and what I'm sure thousands of years ago, if you look at the sky, you wouldn't see any, you wouldn't notice anything. It's just random, lights in the sky. But they looked at it every single night, and they found some patterns, and those patterns were so consistent that they started navigation and calendar and everything based on that. Same as trading. The market is random, but there are some patterns if you look closely, and that's what we are doing as day traders. We believe that there are 3 stages to trading education. The first, which is this class, is about the mechanical aspect of trading. How to use your tools, broker, platform, hotkeys, chat room, and all of these. The technical aspect we discuss about class 2 to 5. I mean, what to trade, how to find the stocks in play, what are the strategies, how to find those patterns, what size we take on that, how to manage our trade or risk. These are aspects of trading. And then we have the psychology of trading. And if there is such a thing as secret to the nature of trading that people are looking for, this is it, the psychology of trading. Because the mechanical aspect and technical aspect are really easy. A lot of people can find them, you can easily open an account with the best broker, get the best platform, set up your hotkeys, buy the scanners, join chat rooms. They're all easy. You can find that, you can do it in a day. And you can watch all of the courses, you can pay all of the various courses from all different people, and you can learn everything really fast. But the psychology of trading is really difficult. The emotional trading, revenge trading, fear, greed, and this is something that it makes it very, very complicated in trading. And that's why in our education center, we actually put this psychology module. The Robert actually has put a lot of information on that. We have a lot of good resources, some books, and there are some psychologists, traders that they put a lot of good information on the psychology trading. And that's why in our website we also recommend people spend some time reading some psychology books. It's not just, you don't need to just constantly read about the technical aspect. A lot of traders, when they lose money, they get frustrated and they want to go and learn more how the market works. They're asking me, okay, can I buy different complicated software, or can I get a new book? They think if they know more how the market works, they become a better trader. They don't know the problem is themselves, and they can't manage themselves. The more learning more about the market and about how the market works really doesn't help if you can't handle yourself. And that's something that you should really, really be aware of that. Okay, what broker we use? I mean, that's a question that we get. Okay, what are the brokers that you use? We get a lot of people who are having an account, usually their investment account with Fidelity or Schwab, and they want to do their day trading. So we have 2 types of brokers. there are some brokers that they are having a big operation. They offer you research, financial advice, analysis, mutual funds. There are all sorts of various investment options that they give to you. They are not really designed for active traders. The commissions are really high, and they usually don't give you the fast execution. Sometimes you have to call them to make a trade, or sometimes you have to enter all of your information online in their platform, and then they execute the trade for you in in few minutes or few hours or something like that. These are really not designed. These are what we call the full service brokers. These are the brokers that they're really not designed for active traders. These are managing millions and billions of dollars for people. But what we have is a group of brokers that we call them discounted brokers. Like Interactive Brokers, Centerpoint, CMEG. These are discounted brokers. They have a very small operation. They usually don't offer any research or financial advice, or they don't have any analysis or something like that. They have low trading commissions because they are designed for active traders. And they make money by people making a lot of trades. The commission are lower, but they're expecting traders to trade a lot of shares for them, so they can actually make money out of that. And they offer fast execution for traders because they know active traders need to have really fast execution. So as day traders, we really focus on discounted brokers. You really want to pick a broker from this category. You can have your investment in these brokers. There is nothing wrong with full service brokers. Some full service brokers are actually offering full direct access and low commission as well. I mean, just a very rough category, but you really want to use discounted brokers. Yep, Dana is asking about the speed trader. Yes, a speed trader is also one of the discounted brokers. A lot of our people in our community are using these three brokers. We recommend these, but of course you're welcome to go and do the research for yourself and see which one is the best. And pretty much all of them have the similar operation and commission structure. You just have to do a little bit of research on them. So now we have the broker. So you choose the broker, but you have to remember of something, and this is important for US residents. There is a law in US that if you want to day trade, you need to have at least $25,000 in your account. And that's a law that brokers have to enforce, because that's the law that is coming by authorities, by financial industry authority regulation body. So if you don't have to trade with all of that $25,000, but you need to have at least $25,000 in your account. You can trade only $1,000 to $2,000. But if you start day trading too much in a week, more than 5 trades in a day, in a week, then the broker has to freeze your account and they don't let you to make any new trade. So what if you have less than $25,000 account in your account? Then as a US resident, what you can do is you can use and choose one of the offshore brokers. These are the brokers that are not based in your US, so they don't have to enforce this for you. And of course, you have to do the research for yourself. But Interactive Brokers, Speed Trader, Lightspeed, Scottrade, E-Trades, all of these are based, and Centerpoint is also in this list. These are all based in the United States, so they enforce that for you. So you have to ask about the minimum requirements of that you deposit in there. But if you have less than $25,000, there are other brokers like Alliance Trader, CME Group, or Show Trader that you can contact them and see if they accept you as their trader. And as you see, they're not really based in the United States. That's why you can trade the US market with them, but they're not really have to follow that specific rule. They are still regulated. They are still regulation following through these brokers, but they are regulated by the country that they are based in. They're not regulated by the US markets. US people. Okay, what about the broker? Now you have the broker. What about the platform? What is the trading platform? So trading platform. So if you imagine you're choosing a broker, like for example, you choose Centerpoint Securities, a direct access discounted broker. When you open an account, they give you option. It's okay, what trading platform do you want to use? There are Dust Trader Pro, there's Centerpoint Trader, which they branded for themselves, and there is Sterling Trader Pro. And you have to choose. When you open an account, they ask you which platform do you want to use. You have different options. So trading platform is different from the broker, and people sometimes they get confused. When we say Dust Trader Pro, they think this is a broker, but it's not a broker. It's actually a trading platform that you use to trade, into the account that you open with Centerpoint Security. So it's like, for example, trading platform is like your operating system. You can have a laptop, you can install Windows on that, or you can, iOS or Android or Linux, or this is like a operating system that you have. So it doesn't affect your memory, or it doesn't affect your RAM, but operating system like trading platform actually affects your speed. It affects the execution speed. So it's really important to what platform you're using. They affect the speed of execution. The charting and indicator is coming, and also the reliability. If your platform crashes, then you're in the middle of a trade, then you have to really figure out another way to close your position. They usually have, we discussed that, what happens. So it's really, really important, and eventually it comes to your success. What kind of platform you learn to trade in there, and what kind of platform you choose for trading really depends on broker and also trading platform. So the type of platform that you use have different costs. Some platform, when you're using them, you have to pay a little bit more. Some of them are cheaper, some of them are more expensive. And for different reasons, because the technology is different. Some of them are better, some of them are cheaper. Obviously you have to do the research and find the trading platform. But what trading platform has no effect on that is the short inventory. The short inventory is something that depends on the broker. If you're using Interactive Broker, or if you're using Speed Trader, or if you're using Centerpoint Security, that doesn't matter which platform you're using. That inventory goes into the broker. Broker tells you if you can short or not. Or the commission. The commissions doesn't have to do anything with the platform. Commissions is something that the broker would charge you. Or other fees, ECN fees, SEC, or other exchange fees. They don't have anything to do with the platform. The platform is the fee that you're paying for using that platform. That's different, but everything else really depends on the broker. So that's something that sometimes people confuse, broker and platform. It's really important for you to understand what's the difference between platform and broker. And you have the options. For most of the brokers, when you open an account, they give you different trading platforms. Okay, which one you want to use. What we recommend, and a lot of our people in our community are using, is DAS Trader. DAS Trader is a NASDAQ Platinum partner. That's one of the best platform available for trading, and that's what I use, and that's a lot of our traders are using. It's not the only platform, but that's one of the traders that are available for one of the platforms that is available for our for retail traders like you and I. It's the NASDAQ Platinum partner. So if you go to this list, NASDAQ Trader Certified Partners, if you go into the Platinum partner, there is a list, and you see the NASDAQ, that's incorporation is the order entry. They actually offer you the highest level of market functionality, and they have to go through certain certifications every once in a while to make sure that they're meeting all of the requirements for the exchange. If you click on this tab, if you go to this link, in the silver partners, there are other. If you click on that, the silver partners, you can see, there are other Lightspeed Trading or Thinkorswim. These are our silver partners. So they don't meet those high standards, but they still, meet certain qualifications. And if you go into click on the bronze partner, you can see, other platforms. Like, for example, these are the brokers that you can see. For like Sterling, for example, Southern Consulting, and some of them I really don't know. We don't use. So we use DAS Trader Pro. It's just a NASDAQ Platinum partner, and for our simulator, we are using this DAS simulator because they offer DAS simulation for our traders. And if you go with one of the brokers, or most of the brokers offer the DAS, it doesn't matter which broker you're going. These three that we are recommending, they are actually offering DAS as their trading platform. So when you open an account with Interactive Broker or with CMEG or Centerpoint, you can ask for DAS Trader Pro, and they open your account based on DAS Trader Pro. And one thing that is really, really important for us is, because you're going to trade on a DAS, try to learn trading, do the simulation on the same platform, because learning the platform is one of the very important aspects of trading. You don't want to start learning trading on something, a web-based or something, or a platform that is designed only for simulation, and then switch to a live account and start trading in a real, on a new platform. Because now then you are entering another education phase. Now you have to learn, okay, how do I work with this platform? So it's really, really important for you that even if you don't use DAS, or if you want to use any other platform, try to make sure that to learn trading on the same platform that you're going to use live for live trading. If you start using a simulator that is not designed for live trading, I think you're wasting really your money and time, because now that you open an account, then you have to start learning the platform. That takes about a month or two just to learn the platform exactly. And you don't want to mess around with real money. You know, you can mess around with the paper trade and simulation, but you don't really want to mess around with real money, just learning the hotkeys or what is that chart or what is that indicator. And, you know, you don't want to mess around with the real money. So that's why, I mean, we trade on a DAS. So DAS provides our simulation. So we recommend DAS simulation. And of course, you're welcome to do the research and see what is out there. I mean, this is a recommendation, and one day might change. Or, you know, as long as we're, you know, really happy with this technology, we keep using that. So when you get the DAS simulation, either through your broker or through the website or through us, we help you in our community to actually build your platform. So when you sign up into our trading education, we give you 2 files that you can actually download in an education center. The first file called the default simulator trader.dsk, and the other one is hotkey.htk. So these are not executable files. You don't really double click on that. So you don't do anything with them. Just save it in your computer. For layouts, just go to File and open Desktop. And then there is a window coming up, and then you can select, so that whatever that file has, just copy it in this C-Trader Pro or whatever that the address is, and just load that into your trading platform. Same for as a hotkey. Just go to Setup, Hotkey, and then go and browse that file that you have, and then load it into your platform. And if you do, you get something like that. And this is what we built for you as a starting point. And, you know, there are different windows that are coming, and then we actually walk you through each of them one by one, and how to build that, what are the indicators, and what are everything. And of course, you can later change it any way that you want. But if you do that, you get something like that. So these are different windows that we built for you, pre-built for you. And, you know, of course, you can add or remove any of them that you want. So the first window we call the top list. In the top list, there are 6 columns. These 6 columns, there are 3 of them are for NASDAQ, 3 of them for other exchanges, NYSE and American Amex. NYSE is New York Stock Exchange, Amex is American Stock Exchange. So the first 3 columns is NASDAQ active, NASDAQ gainer, and NASDAQ loser. So the stock that have highest volume, highest percent gain in the market, and highest loss in the market. And this window is updating every few seconds by DAS, because during the day the volumes and, you know, ups and downs are changing. So, you know, it's really good to have an eye on the market that say, okay, DCTH has the highest volume, then AMD, and then there's Apple. There are some stocks that are always there because Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, these are all being traded, so they have a lot of volume. But this column is changing all the time. VERI, RTNB, these are the stocks that, you know, popped the gapped up most, and these are the losers. Like this might be plus 20%, 50%. These are my minus 10%, minus 15%, minus 20%. These are the losers. And the same for other exchanges. Some stocks like Apple, NASDAQ is usually tech. These are the NASDAQ is an exchange that usually the tech companies are being traded in there, but you can see sometimes the Starbucks in there too. So, you know, the Starbucks is a company that is not tech related, but it's there. So, you know, you never know. But the other exchanges, like, you know, for example, GE, Snapchat, or Ford, or, you know, Baba or Bank of America, these are all the stocks that are being traded in other exchanges, or either NYSE or Amex. So, you know, sometimes you trade stocks on the other exchanges, but it's good to take a look at the market overall. So it's a window that you have. The stocks that we trade are mostly on NASDAQ. So we trade mostly on NASDAQ stocks, but often we trade GE, Bank of America, or Snapchat, or other stocks too. Market view is where you actually put your watch list. So this is a window that you can build. You build the watch list that you have: Facebook, Apple, Teva, whatever that you want, Foot Locker, and you put it in your watch list. You can get some information. Right click on that on the configuration. You can get any information, change color, change size. It's a very you can change whatever that you want. We look at some indexes of the market. So these dollar signs. These industrial Dow Jones. That's Dow Jones is the most famous index that shows the overall health of the market. S&P 500 and Nasdaq Composites or other market indexes that shows when they say, for example, market is selling off, they mean probably either S&P 500 or Dow Jones is selling off. Dow Jones is the average of 30 biggest companies in the stock market. Or Nasdaq, for example, is the combination of all of the stocks in Nasdaq. And you can add it more. I mean, you don't have to have that, but these are the information that you can have. And you can go to the quote market viewer and can just add as many as you want. For depending on how many screens that you have, you might want to add more. This is an example of the figures, the charts that you're using. I personally really like the white background. For price, I use candlesticks. The red candlesticks are the ones that opens higher, that closes lower. So you can change the color. I like red. For the candlesticks that goes up, I use white. A lot of people use green, but I personally like to use white for a lot of reasons. Because white background is much easier on the eye. It's like reading a book. And also these colors that are black, red, and white are processed in the front loop cortex, so it's processing the brain a little bit faster. So I really like to use this color style, but it's really up to you. You can change it any way that you want. A lot of people like to use dark background, but I personally think dark backgrounds is really hard on eyes. Nobody really wants to read a book on a dark dark paper with the white fonts. You can't read that. It would be crazy on your eyes. There are a bunch of indicators on my chart, and we'll walk you through that. They're not complicated. I use very, very simple indicators. So VWAP is one of them. VWAP is the most important indicator that you have for day trading. Is an intraday indicator. So you see there's a blue line on my chart. I use 4 moving averages, 9 exponential, 20 exponential moving average, 50 simple, and 200 simple moving average. So there are 2 exponential and then 2 simple. And these are really common moving averages that people use. You can change them. You can use 8 or 18 or 100 or 200. But, these are the common moving averages that people use. There is no magic number in them. You can change them. But, you want to use the indicators that other traders are also using. There is no color on my moving averages. All of them are gray. But you can color code them. You can change the color any way that you want. Just right click on them and you can change the color. But for me, it's easy to say which one is which, because the one that is closer usually touch the price or hugs the price or kiss the price faster and more. So 9, as you see, it's much, much closer to the price. And then there's 20, 50, and the one that is larger moving average is usually far, far behind. So it's easy to say which one is which. There are some red lines on our chart. These are support or resistance line. These are what we discuss in class 2. What are they? How to put them? What are they useful for? These are what we discuss in class 2. And then there is a dashed black line on our chart. This is previous day close. This is the line that you can actually add. So in this example, this is AAOI. Market closed at 64.10, for example. And then later opened, it's sold off at the open. So as you see, this is a very important line to have, previous day close. We discussed in class 2 why it's very, very important. And then we have the volume bar down there. So the volume is just the color matches the color of candlestick. Sometimes the volume is black because, the candlestick is, black because there's no body. So not up, not down, just the color is black. And an order entry. So the ones that, so for example, in this example, the green means the buy, the red means sell or sell short. So in this example, for example, AAY is a buy and someone wants to sell that at 62.50. So that's the type of order that you have. If they're filled, it means that these are the orders that are filled. And if they're not filled, it means that these are open orders. So somebody has the open. In this example, me have an order to sell at 62.50. It looks like I'm long to sell at 62.50. So again, you play around with it in DAS. If you are not using DAS platform, most of the platforms have something similar, and you can actually adjust it. The color, the size, and indicators in there. And there is a red line that if the market is open, constantly goes ups and downs. And in this red line, this is the last sell price. This is the last transaction price. So the last price was 61.20. So that one, it comes into your, it shows as a red line. So, during the market open, just price goes ups and downs. This red line goes ups and downs. And yeah, as I mentioned, you can change them. You can just right click on the study configuration. These are the studies that you can add, price in the form of candlestick, VWAP. These are a bunch of moving averages that you can, again, click on that, check that. Price marker, there's a studies called price marker. You can add or remove. Price marker shows us yesterday low, yesterday high, 2 days ago high, and 2 days ago low. And these are the, we discussed that in class 2, why we are using price market. It's a very, very important study. And as you see, it's a very simple one. There is a huge list of different studies, but I personally use a very simple indicator in my chart because I really believe we should keep trading simple. I really believe people take trading way more complicated than it should be. The people really start adding all of these mathematical indicator in there and it just makes your chart really complicated. I personally believe it should be really simple. Again, you can just do the configuration, and each of them, click on the price, click on the configuration. You can see you can change the candlesticks, colors, or whatever. You can the type of price indicator that you want to use, show trades and show orders, and you can change anything that you want. And there is a configuration X, this configuration external that on all of them, just going through all of them and one by one, and there is an include in a scale. There is a check mark here. Just uncheck this one. You don't want that. You don't want this include in a scale to be checked, because if you check this one, then you'll have trouble zooming in, zooming out of your trade or your chart. So keep that. You can, for the price, you can keep it, but even if you remove it for the price, it still would be okay. So just go one by one. After you did that, go to VWAP, go to this one by one, click on that, and click on the configuration external. And you can change in the configuration on each of them, change the colors and everything. It's really easy to, really easy to do that. What about that red line? So this one, this last transaction, just go to the chart area, configuration area, and on this line you can have the previous day close line. Check mark this one. This is really important. Last sale price, you want that, this 44.37, and last sale price line, this is also really important, this red line. So make sure that these two are checked because you really want this red line in your chart. It's very, very important. On your chart, you can use hotkeys to change the time frame. These are the hotkeys that it's built in. F1 changes from 5 minutes to 1 minute. F2 goes back to 5 minutes. F4 when you're actually clicking on the chart, and then press F4 would change the time frame for you. Sometimes you want to see more data, so just bring your cursor to the edge of the chart. Your cursor becomes an arrow, and then when it becomes an arrow, just click and you can see more data, and you should be able to have all-time data in your desk. Just go as much as possible. You can go back. There's a very, very important feature that you guys have is sometimes you look at the daily chart and you're zoomed out, so you want to see what's going on in the last year, and then you want to zoom in a certain area. You want to zoom in only in that area and see what's going on. You want to find some levels, and this is a really good feature. You want to zoom in that area. So what you do is you hold the shift on your keyboard, and then you select this area with the left bottom of your mouse, and then when you release, you will zoom in that specific area. You have to hold shift. This is a very, very important feature. I didn't know that for a while, and I was really having trouble just going up and down with my arrow keys and just to zoom in that area. But that's, just go zoom out and then hold the shift and select this area. If you release, just you zoom in that. And this is a really, really useful feature that they put in there. The next window is called Montage. This is the level 2 or Montage. This is a very, very important. This is probably the most important window that you have because there's a lot of action is happening here. The top part is called level 1. So there's a lot of information here. So the previous day close value is here. This is Facebook. The previous day close 167.41. The Q means the stock is being traded in NASDAQ. S means the stock is shortable, so your broker has the shares for short. If you don't have any S here, it means that the stock is not shortable. The volume that is being traded, so the volume is changing every second. The VWAP value is here. the high of the day and low of the day. So stock is being traded 168 to 165.82. The last transaction is 167.90, and then level 1, the first bid 167.80 and 167.90 is here. So that you have the first bid and first ask here on the level 1 as well. And this is the percentage of change compared to the previous day close. So there's a lot of useful information here that I always look into high of the day, low of the day. So I have this information here, the volume. And there's an anchor here that I teach later what this anchor is for. This is also very useful. And then you have the level 2. In the level, this is called level 2 or market depth or liquidity. MMID is market maker ID. So these are the market makers that are, the bid. This column is bid, this column is ask. These are the people who want to buy. These are the people who want to sell. Obviously, people want to buy low, sell high. So bid is always lower than ask. So in this example, 167.80, they want to buy and they want to sell 167.90. So the spread, the difference between the first ask and first bid is 10 cents, which is not bad for a stock that is 167. The size is 10. So the size is number of, you have to times it by 100. So there is someone who wants to buy 1,000 share. Through ARCA, this is the market maker. Through EDG Exceed, someone wants to buy 300 shares, and someone here wants to sell 200 shares because you have to times it 100 through this exchange, and 200 through this exchange, NASD. So in this example, this is, for example, a big order, 269. That's probably 26,900 shares. Someone wants to sell 2,609,000 shares at 168. So you see that through this market maker. And then you have the hotkey buttons. These are hot buttons that you have. So for traders, we build this for you. If you want to trade, so for example, you want to buy 200, just type in the number of the shares that you want. Press long, so you buy 200 shares. We talk in the class 3, we talk about these ones and how to build them. These are the hotkeys that we actually walk you through each of them one by one if you want to use them or not. But imagine you want to buy 200 shares. You just type in 200, press long. You want to sell half of that, press sell half. So now 100 shares. Sell another half, 100 shares. Sell another half, 25 shares. Oh, sorry, 50 shares. And sell another half, 12 shares. And then you can click the sell all. Same as for selling short. If you want to go short, type in 200 and now press short. You're short 200 shares of Facebook. And if you want to cover your short, means you're buying to cover the short, you press this half, you buy 100 shares. And if you want to cover all, press that, and then you don't need to do this number. So you just press this one. This one automatically calculates the number of the shares for you. And you have the video how to build this, how to change that on the Education Center, and also we get into that in class 3 in detail. And the rest, we really don't need to. You don't need to worry about this order entry platform. You really don't need to worry about that. The only thing that you need to worry about is just enter the initial number of the shares, and that's it. You use the hotkey button. And if you want to really learn about these details, we have a lot of information in our Education Center and in our forum. But as a beginner, you really don't need to get into this. All right, so remember that there was an anchor here. Do you remember this anchor? So this is important because this anchor, if you want to link all of these charts together, there's a drag and drop. Drag this anchor and drop in all of this window. Now, if I click on Facebook in this watch list, this one becomes Facebook and all of my charts and all of my windows becomes Facebook. If I double click on Veri, because it's linked to that, this one becomes VERI, this one becomes VERI, now everything becomes VERI. So you don't have to do it one by one. So you link everything together by just clicking on one of them, everything would change. So this is a really useful feature. And imagine in another screen, you have different screens and you have different montage, so you can actually link them together. So if you, so these three are linked together, these three are linked together, and these three are linked together. So now if I press Apple here, type in Apple and press Apple, this one becomes Apple and the chart becomes Apple for me. Or, at the same time, you can look at the Facebook, Apple, and Microsoft at the same time. It's very useful feature. And the last windows are some information like account summary. So all of you starts with $25,000. And if you want to change that, right click on that, then change the buying power equity. If you want to have a $10,000 account, you can change it to $10,000. If you want to change it to $100,000, you can change that for yourself. There is a window for open position. So if, in this example, I go 200 shares long of Facebook and I'm down, average cost is 167.90. there is no realized P&L, but there's unrealized P&L at $20, which is probably a spread. If you want to sell your position, you can put your open order. These are the orders that are not filled, like profit target, stop loss, and etc. So in this example, I have a limit order. I want to sell 167.90. I want to sell it at 168. So I just put my 200 shares order. And this is just an example. Someone emailed me and said, oh, in this example, you want to get only 10 cents on 200 shares. That's $40. You want to make $40? No, this is just an example. I'm not saying that you should make 10 cents. You might be able to make, $2 from, move, but that's just an example. So I'm not saying that you should make only 10 cents on 200 shares of Facebook. Trade log, and what happens, the orders, the buy and sell, you can have that. You can actually delete that. It's not really necessary window. And close P&L, close position. So as you see, there's a Facebook position you have. There is no realized P&L because you still have the position. But if you close that, then the realized P&L would be here. There is something that is really important here. There is a link icon here. This is very important, guys. So click on that on the bottom right of your platform, and there is a connectivity check. And in the connectivity check, this is the network traffic status. That shows how much delay you have in your network into DAS servers. DAS servers are co-located with NASDAQ. They're, I think, based in New Jersey. So in this example, I'm based in BC, British Columbia, and my network delay is 67 milliseconds. So it means that I have 67 milliseconds delay through my internet connection to the NASDAQ. So the closer that you are into the market, it might be, I know people Carlos is living in New Jersey. He has only 20 milliseconds because, my internet connection has to come through all of the continent, all of the mountains and everything to east side. But, if you're on the east, it's probably lower. So, you need a very good internet speed. So you don't need a very high download or upload capacity. You need a very low ping speed. So when you're testing your connection, they give you the upload and download capacity or speed, but you don't need that. You need the ping speed. You need a really low latency market. So try to catch that as much as possible. Sometimes it depends on the wiring and connections of your wire on your router or modem, or sometimes the connection through the internet provider. So yeah, the lower the better. I mean, anything less than 200 to 100 milliseconds is good, but if you have 5 seconds delay, then there's something seriously wrong in your connection. That's why we don't recommend Wi-Fi. Try to connect with your with a cable directly to your router. You don't put a lot of switch on your modem, so try to have it really fast as possible. As I mentioned, you can right click on that. A lot of people say, okay, I have only $10,000 or I want to have $50,000 in my account. Can I change that? Of course. Right click on that, reset buying power and equity, and you can actually change that for yourself. If you lose your DOS password in a simulator, if on a simulator you lost the password, you just email us and we'll change it for you. But if it's a real account, you have to contact us and they reset the password for you. We don't have access to anyone's on the live account, but the simulators that you buy from variable traders, we might be able to change it for you. There are a lot of tips and tricks on DAS, so you can actually go to DAS variable traders on the forum, DAS Trader Pro frequently asked questions, and there's a lot of good topics and good discussions that we have on small features. But overall, it's a very easy platform to use. So a lot of our traders know the platform really, really well, or asking the community. People usually really helpful in answering the questions. And make your own layout. So that's another thing. I mean, depending on what the depending on how many screens do you have, or what's the size of the screen, what you can do is actually you can make your own layouts. So I mean, I think this is Robert's layout. So what he has one chart here, he has one chart. These are all connected to each other. There's one chart, one montage here, and as I mentioned, you can actually link them with this anchor. So all of them are linking together, and there's one here, and I think these three are connected to each other, and then there's this one is also connected, all of them together. And then he has the chat room here. There's a top list here, open position, open order. There's the watch list here, and then he puts a calculator for, making all of this stuff. So make your layout, because this is your environment. Depending, you don't have to use any of these colors. I mean, as you see, Robert has changed the color any way that he wants. So, just play around with it. Okay, what to learn from simulated trading? I mean, when you are in the 3-month simulation, find the best strategies for yourself. I mean, tweak the strategies that we teach as needed. Find what is working best for you. A lot of people want to just follow someone else, but really trading doesn't work that way. I mean, a lot of people are asking you, what is the best strategy? I mean, there is no best strategy. Like, there is no best automobile in the market anymore. You have to see what kind of car is good for you. It might be a sports car, it might be a van, it might be a truck, depending on your needs. Same as a trading strategy. Depending on your style, your personality, you have to see which one is really needed for you. And the strategies might also not work over time because the market conditions constantly changing. So you have to be able to develop new ones for yourself. That's why it's good to be part of a community. Play around with your hotkeys and indicators. Again, there is no magic hotkey or magic indicator. You have to learn them, see how you can actually use them, and you must become independent. The fact that you are part of a community doesn't mean that you have to blindly follow someone. Try to be independent. Use the community as your learning environment. Is like an athlete who is part of a team, as use the team, use the coaching, and use the environment for growing. But eventually, at the end of the day, he is the or she is the person to do, to go to the competition. So the personal performance really matters. So what about the day trading journey? So what we teach you is the basics. So a lot of basics information about the spread, level 2, short selling. These are all we cover into our education class 1 to 5, and how to use the platform. I mean, we are focused on that, but again, if you're using other platform, you have to learn the platform really, really well. Education, attend the classes, webinars that we have, and there is an additional study. There is a reading list, there's education center, there's on the website, there are books out there. Journaling is really, really important. Use the forum. There's a lot of templates in there. Trader Views, another good website or service that you can actually use for journaling. Documentation is really important to know, okay, what are you doing in the 3 months? I mean, maybe for the first few weeks you want to play around with it, but after that you really have to journal your journey. And look at the forum. There's a lot of other traders are posting their progress, posting their trades in there, and you can actually get really good ideas. And then there are strategies. Play around with different strategies and see which one works best for you at what time of the day. Not all strategies are working on at the same time. Sometimes at the open you trade the certain strategies, but in the afternoon or toward the close you have to use different strategies. And focus on the process of planning and managing a trade. Again, there is no magic formula. Planning a trade, execution, managing and exec all have to be practiced. And risk management is really, really important, and it's something that you have to practice while you are in a simulator. And it's very difficult because people who are trading with in a simulator, it's not real money. People don't care about that, and they just do whatever they want in there. But you can't really do that in a real account. So you have to be really, really careful. Have a daily goal, max loss, risk. We talk about that in risk management in class 5, but you have to really practice it. And then psychology. We're going into the psychology. It's really important to be aware of your emotion and how the emotion can impact live trading. Read the books like Trading in the Zone and Daily Trading Coach. These are the books that we recommend from famous psychologists and traders. And then look at the Robert Frantz on YouTube and Education Center. And when you're actually done all of these, then you want to start opening an account, search the forum and see which broker you want to choose. There's all other options that you have. And then going live. And going live is just a different story that will help you from a simulator. When you go live, you have to trade the small. Even if you're amazing trader in a simulator, you have to trade the small size, 50 to 100 shares, and then increase your share size after you see there's consistency. And whenever you see there's a problem, just decrease your share size or go back to simulator. And by staying on the small share size, yes, you don't make enough money for a living, but you're actually implementing all of the learning that you had and now building the confidence and the process of trading. And we have a peer-to-peer support group. You find a mentor in the community, and you help you through increasing your share size. And remember, I always said that making $10 a day and making not $10, making $100 a day consistently, it's very easy to scale it to $1,000. $100, if you're making $100 a day, just a little bit of share size, you can make $1,000 a day. But making $5 a day is very, very difficult. That making a small amount of profit consistently is very difficult. But when you reach that certain level of confidence and skill that you can actually make consistent money, then it's really easy to scale up. But that's a problem. A lot of people want to jump into the large share size right at the beginning. And that's the moment that they blow up their account. So you have to practice a small share size. You have to build the confidence, and that process, it has to be implemented in your mind and in your strategies before you actually scaling up. I know you have money. I know you need money. Everyone needs money, and you can afford. I understand a lot of people can't afford trading large size, but you shouldn't. It's very, very important to actually build that confidence, because it's a different ball game when you're going live. And that's the number one reason that traders lose their account. A lot of people are asking me, okay, if is the simulator same as real trading? In terms of execution, if you're using DAS, in terms of execution and speed, it's pretty much the same. But there is a huge difference in that, and it's in the psychology. If I ask people in the class to take off your shoes and start walking on a bench or desk or table in a room, and I give you $100, probably most of you would do that. So, sure, I'll take the $100. Oh, I do that. But if I offer you $5,000 to do the same thing on top of a tall building on a same size table or same size ridge, probably most of you won't do that. Why? It's the same skill. It's the same thing. Why not there? Because the risk is higher. And when the risk is higher, the psychology would be different. So it's very similar to trading in a live account and in a simulator. And you have to be really careful when you're switching from a simulator to trading in a real account. And that's it for class 1. Good luck, guys. Thanks for choosing Bearable Traders for your education and being part of our community. Although you really don't need luck for trading, you just need hard work and determination. But I wish you luck, and we are here for you. Feel free to ask any questions that you have. And again, the chat room community is there for you. Learn from them, and later when you actually become a better trader, you can actually contribute more to the community. Thank you very much, and that's the end of our class 1.